Get ready with me and listen as I tell you about how I manifested my soulmate after a lot of dating, after healing from a 12-month narcissistic relationship, and the ins and outs and all the synchronicities of meeting your soulmate and how you know that you have. I'm picking up where I left off, which was the first moment that I saw my soulmate. It was after a couple dates that were not great with other men, where I really could correlate and compare how I was feeling on those dates with how I was feeling with my special person. And when I first saw my special person, it was just a comfortability. It was a feeling of home. It was safe. I felt so safe. He sees me, we embrace, and he walks me to his truck, opens the door for me, which you would expect on a first date. But what I've realized now is this is something that he demands that I allow him to do. He always opens the door for me. He has really cultivated an idea that I wait in the car for him to come and get me. And this is something that we should have our men do for us, because what it does is it gives them a sense of purpose, and it actually makes them fall in love with you more. You do not owe him anything to make his life easier and jump out of the car and help him. Allow him to do the most for you. It makes him fall in love with you. And it helps you to feel cared for. It helps you to feel safe. It is the dynamics of a divine union with a divine feminine, divine masculine. Allow him to fully be in his masculine. So as we're driving to the restaurant, he has planned the whole date. I have had no input other than the area that I wanted to have the date, which was up by where he lives. But he had planned the entire date, and he was surprising me. On the way to the restaurant, I'm sitting next to him in his truck, and I'm just looking at him. And again, I had this feeling when I first saw him of there he is. So I'm kind of in my feels. Like, I'm feeling very safe. I'm feeling very excited for the date. But at the same time, I'm feeling like this is an energy that I've never felt before. Just feeling so comforted and so at home after being in such a bad relationship for 12 months and going out on dates and just really trying to vet these men and look for red flags. I just felt so comfortable in my body. That doesn't mean that I was not employing these dating tactics. I was, because a woman needs to be smart out here. Many times men will mirror, they will play the part of a nice man, and you need to be vigilant. However, listen to your body. Your body keeps the score, and your body will tell you if this man is safe. And I felt so safe with him on the way to the restaurant. We get to this beachside little town, and he had made reservations at a French restaurant. We sit down. He had looked at the menu beforehand, and so he knew exactly what we were going to order. He offered to me his suggestions for what we should eat, and I agreed. But this is another thing that I love about a masculine man. A masculine man makes all of the arrangements. He has thought about everything. He has mapped it out for you. He has organized everything for you so that you can sit back and enjoy yourself. You can sit back and rest. And in restful feminine energy, you give him what he needs by merely existing. It is not you doing the most, conversing, giving, cutting his steak. No. It is you being in your restful feminine, which he creates by the little tasks that he does to make you feel safe and cared for. And that is what you give to a masculine man. During the date, we're talking, and what I'm realizing is because I feel so safe, I don't feel the need to fill in all the conversation, all the empty spaces with conversation. I'm not put off in my body as far as feeling anxiety or feeling butterflies or feeling chemistry. So I'm able to just sit back and relax and be essentially who I am. So I was so naturally in my feminine because of his masculine energy that he emanates, that in the first hour of us being together, I was naturally falling into my feminine. And there were times where it was a little off-putting, and I was like, I had never felt this way before in a relationship. A man had never really done this for me. I've talked about my marriage before and how he was a really great provider. It was safe in that way. He was a provider and a protector. But as far as being totally emotionally held in that relationship, I didn't always feel like I could totally be myself and be authentic and be loved. So there was a certain amount of unsafety there. But with this man, with Soulmate, I was able to just totally be myself in all the ways, show up in all my emotions, show up and say exactly what I thought. And I just knew that somehow he was going to be able to hold it and not shame me, not be triggered by my emotions, which was what my 12-month narcissistic relationship was. It was him being unable to hold my emotions and shaming me for it. I just could be myself. So we had dinner. It was really, really nice. We talked the entire time. And we talked so long that, in fact, we closed down the restaurant. And people were coming up to us and just looking at us, staring at us, asking us if we needed anything, the staff. Like, that's something else about a soulmate connection. You will automatically emanate such a harmonious, peaceful energy. It's a very powerful energy because divine union is the most powerful relationship you can have. And so we have still always attracted people that take pictures of us, that ask us how long we've been together, that come up and talk to us. We naturally draw people to us because our energy is of the highest frequency, to be honest. So we get up to go. He wanted to stop by a candy store and pick out candy on the way home, but it had closed because we had closed the restaurant down. So as we're standing at the light, well, listen, what I'm going to do is I'm going to include a video from the evening of the date. As I've said before, I was recording TikToks at the time of dating Soulmate. And so I had recorded a recap video the morning after our date together. Or sorry, it was the evening I returned from our date. No, it was the morning after our date. I'm going to include a recap of what happened that night as we were walking back to the car after dinner. But what I want you to do, more than just listen to what I'm saying, is look at my energy. Look at how I feel. I am so calm and relaxed in this video. I can't wait to show it to you. So I wanted to report on my date. I'm so tired because the date lasted very long. Into the night, we stayed up talking the majority of the night, and we went to dinner, and I felt so comfortable with this man. It was very uncanny. I'm definitely not used to that. We had such great conversation. We had moments where we just weren't talking, and this was a first date, and we both just kind of reflected that was weird for us. To just already feel so comfortable with each other. Then as we were crossing the street to go back to his car after dinner, he kissed me on the corner at the light, and it was really sweet and felt really good. And then from that point on, the date just kind of took a turn, and we started to reflect on the energy that was present between us and just kind of acknowledge it. And we both are feeling really, really good and really, really positive in each other's presence. And that for us is a really good sign for both of us. And so we are going to continue dating. It's really weird. I did not at all expect that. I knew that I liked him because we had had some phone conversations over the week, but I just never expected to have that kind of an experience. And I'm really, really excited for what the future holds. So I will keep you posted. So that was the night after our date. And if you cannot tell, I am so calm. And I highlighted there the feelings that we both felt on the date, the feelings that we felt as we talked the whole night. The date went until 5 a.m. We kissed and things like that, but we kept it pretty kosher as far as physical activity that first night, because we both kind of felt like we wanted to just talk and get to know each other before we brought it to a physical level. And we did. We stayed up all night talking. And I just feel so naturally comfortable when I'm around him. He can listen to anything I have to say. Any emotion that I have, he can hold and carry. And his response always is, what can I do for you, babe? Do you need me to hold space for you? Do you want me to solve this problem? What is it? And no matter what it is, he can meet me there. It is quite beautiful. Follow along for part 5.